Josh Haley and Steve Braun here with you on the PrimeTime Sports Network. We are at Duncanville High School, Duncanville Fieldhouse, court number 5 live, the featured court here for the National Championship High School Boys Divisions. And Steve, there hasn't been any more anticipated matchup, at least for us, than the one we are about to see in this National Championship semifinal.
Yeah, both these teams loaded with talented players, guys that are all-staters, only as sophomores. So it should be an impressive game between these two squads.
Team Texas Blue wearing the blue. They win the tip. Here's Brady Anderson. That's one you speak of. He was all-state as a sophomore. Here's a three right off the bat from Jacoby Cochran that's no good. Melvin Daniels soars in for the board. Team Texas Blue knows how to work the ball around. They are excellent, excellent ball handlers. Nice bounce pass inside to Daniels. Oh, the trust by Andrew Smith to feed that inside, and knew Daniels would keep control. Here's a steal by McGraw. Cochran trying to go in and has it blocked. Driving the other way. That shot goes up. It's going to be a charge. Great job by Daniels to set his feet. And that foul will be charged to Tabashi Thomas, his first personal. The first team foul for the Georgia Shock out of Mableton, Georgia, coached by James Parks, assisted by Roderick Jacks, Deborah Ramsey Parks, their administrator. Vic Cochran, the head coach for Team Texas Blue. They are undefeated so far in this tournament. Yesterday in the championship bracket quarterfinals, they had to take a close one. Here's Michael McGraw for three. That misses short. Smith was able to keep it in bounds, but right to the Shock's Dallas Jacks. Jacks driving in, misses off the glass. Daniels secures the board, and Texas Blue is going to push. Cochran thought about pulling up, instead kicks it to the side. There's the extra pass. 3 extra passes and an easy 2 for Melvin Daniels. That's the kind of unselfish play that has got this team, Texas Blue, into this national championship semi. 3-pointer from the corner off the side of the backboard. Cochran over the top lob to Michael McGraw, and that's an easy 2 for him.
There's a hand check on Jacoby Cochran.
First team foul against Team Texas Blue.
Got beat, and he just reached out and grabbed the guy.
3 ball from the corner, just off the mark. Strong rebound from Brady Anderson. Pass out in the front court to Cochran. Cross-court pass. McGraw is going to have a go for 3. You betcha. Michael McGraw for 3. He's got 5, and a timeout on the floor as it's a 9-0 run for Team Texas Blue to open this game.
Just an impressive start for Team Texas Blue. Coach Vic Cochran has his squad run exactly how he'd like. He's got, looks like there might be something wrong with Jacoby Cochran. Coach Vic Cochran checking on him. Make sure everything's all right. Settling him down, getting into it. Here early is Team Texas Blue. We know what they possess. We've seen it. We watched it here on this court, and you had the chance to watch it over on the other side court. They took care of business in both those games.
Yeah, they did. Yesterday in the championship bracket final, they were able to win handily. We're up by as many as 24 at one point. Here's a 3 ball, and the Georgia Shocker on the board, courtesy of Tabashi Thomas' long-range shot. Still a solid lead for Team Texas Blue in the early going. That 3 just off the mark, tipped out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Team Texas Blue. Three from the corner from Michael McGraw is off the mark. Rebound tipped around. Ernest Patil will control it. Patillo's a solid player. He just got back from going to Coach Calipari's invitation-only Kentucky basketball camp. Here's another 3 ball. You bet. Tabashi Thomas starting to feel it. Couple of 3s for him, and it's a basketball game once again. not having the court awareness there, and it was dribbled out of bounds. Not a deep roster for Team Texas Blue, Steve, but all 8 guys on the roster know how to play.
Yeah, they definitely do, and both squads very talented. A 3-point shot up and in.
And we are tied. It was a 9-0 run for Team Texas Blue to start. It's a 9-0 run courtesy of 3 3-pointers. That one from Jaquan Sims. Tie ball game. Here's Melvin Daniels inside, and he got fouled as he went up for the shot. Second team foul as Ernest Patillo picks up his first personal. Melvin Daniels drops in the first.
Patillo
start for Daniels.
Just got underneath Daniels there on that layup attempt, led to the foul. Free throw opportunities, which Daniels takes advantage of.
That shot will go in off the glass. Aaron Reddick puts it in for 2, and we're tied at 11. McGraw went down awkwardly on that last play as he was trying some on-ball pressure. Doesn't appear to be limping or anything.
Yeah, that was my first reaction as well.
Oh, that could have been a goaltend. Looked like it might have touched the glass before a hand was put on it after Daniels got the offensive board. Here's a shot and a miss. Offensive rebound. Kicked out for 3. That one misses short. Rebound tapped around. There's Patillo. Up and under, and it's good. And the lead taken over by the Georgia Shock. First bucket for Patillo. Steve, I'm a fan of these uniforms too.
Yeah.
Not too bright of an orange. That gray offsets it well.
It really does. And the logo very similar to the WNBA team in a sense.
Driving inside, the scoop shot layup off the glass, misfired. That was Tabashi Thomas driving in. Nearly a steal there. Cochran's going to come away with it. Dribbles out. McGraw had a 3 for a moment. Instead, he'll take a few dribbles inside, and that's a smooth jumper from the right elbow.
He is a good player, Michael McGraw.
Nice pass inside. The find down low. Could have been an and one.
Should have probably been an and one.
Technical foul assessed to the Georgia Shock bench, so the bucket was good. It's a 15-13 lead for the Georgia Shock. Michael McGraw will shoot the technical free throws. Calmly knocks down the second. Team Texas Blue led this game 9-0, but then a 11-0 spurt for the Georgia Shock to take the lead. Now they lead by 1. Good ball movement, just as we've seen from Team Texas Blue early on in this tournament. It's what they're all about, working it around until they can find an easy shot attempt. A lot of high percentage shots taken by this team. You won't see them fire a lot of ill-advised shots. Head coach Vic Cochran is involved in just about every possession.
Great motion offense. Good look there, but he passed it up to McGraw.
Cochran's going to take the 3. That was halfway down before it bounced out. Fast break the other way. Thomas has it blocked by Brady Anderson.
Good block there by Anderson. Good body control. Keeping his body away from the player and just going up and swatting that with his hand.
Melvin Daniels with the swat the other way. McGraw thought his teammate was going to go after it, and it led to an offensive board, and it's put back up and in. Aaron Reddick with the 2. That's his second bucket. 3-point advantage for the Georgia Shock. We expected this game to be competitive, Steve. So far, it's living up to the hype.
It definitely has. Two really talented squads. There's a pass deflected and stolen by the Shock.
Turnover the other way, and Tabashi Thomas takes it all the way home. He's got 8. 5-point advantage now for the Georgia Shock. It's a 19-5 run. Pass inside. That's turned over as well. Cutting into the lane. Oh, just a little bit too strong off the heel, but the offensive board was there. And a foul on the floor against Texas Blue. It'll be the second team foul. It's going to be the first personal on Melvin Daniels.
Patillo at the line. As Fink checks in, along with Eccles, Team Texas Blue.
So the second one good for Patillo. 6-point advantage. Team Texas Blue bringing in a couple of subs. Colin Eccles checks in, as does Bradley Mason. There's Mason on ball right now. Also Josh Fink into the game for the first time. McGraw thought about the 3, instead gives it up to Fink. Cross-court pass, the extra pass. Anderson's going to fire a 3. Off the heel, no good. Rebound tipped out. It will be controlled. Wow, great job by Bradley Mason. If he doesn't get a hand on that pass, that's an easy layup. And a foul on the floor as Reese Anderson came in and tried to strip the ball away. Third team foul against the Shock. And another quick foul. That will go against Jordan Gaines. Fourth team foul on the Shock. And if there's one advantage that Team Texas Blue could have, it might be that if they can get the Shock in foul trouble early. They are certainly good free throw shooters. And with cheap fouls like that, it will certainly put them in the bonus before this first half is over with. Mason gets it back to McGraw. They're starting to bring more on-ball pressure. That zone defense brings an extra defender over. Anderson's in the corner. He's going to take a 3. That's off the heel. Mason with the offensive board. Dumped down low underneath, and it wouldn't go. McGraw's going to chase it down. Nice pass underneath. Pump fake. Goes up. And the foul.
Good job by Anderson. Great passing there, as the foul was called upon Reese Anderson.
And that's the second on Anderson. Brady Anderson gets that one to hop in, completes the 3-point play. This 3-ball missed everything. Smartly, Brady Anderson letting it go out of bounds. 16-minute halves is what we play, split up by a 5-minute halftime period. The winner of this game goes to the national championship. That pass inside, what a block from behind from Tabashi Thomas. And transition layup the other way for Greg Ringer, Jr. That's a 4-point swing. That could have been an easy bucket, but Thomas never gave up on the play. It turned into a basket for the Shock. They lead it by 5. That shot was short with the right hand from Fink and nearly turned over. But as Ernest Patillo tumbled to the ground, he was touching the sideline as he was touching the ball. Colin Eccles would check out. Andrew Smith, who started the game, back in for him. McGraw is going to fire a 3. Yes. So Michael McGraw has 11 points here in this first half. As we're under 7 minutes to play, it's a 22-20 advantage for the Georgia Shock. Steve, anything you've seen out of the ordinary from either of these two teams that maybe you didn't expect coming in?
Not really. I mean, this is about what we expected. These two squads really bringing it early, offensively providing good talent. Pressure-wise, though, they're also doing an excellent job defensively, creating turnovers and converting them into extra buckets offensively. It's just been a good job. A 2-point lead for the Shock. They've benefited from creating a few extra turnovers.
That jumper wouldn't go. Rebound was tipped by Fink to his teammate Anderson and right back to Fink. Bradley Mason will control. Mason has an open 3 from the left side and he got it.
Good offense there by Team Texas Blue.
Third 3 of this first half for Texas Blue, as they have retaken the lead. They're working on Thomas, able to get past 2 defenders and a great find underneath. Easy 2 for Jordan Gaines.
Excellent pass, as you mentioned, Josh, by Tabashi Thomas.
He's used to passing the ball. He's the starting quarterback as a freshman for the varsity team at New Manchester High School. 3 ball from Brady Anderson off the mark. Gaines went up for the board. It's going to be out of bounds. It'll stay right here with Team Texas Blue. Inbounds play. Anderson thought about the 3. He's going to drive into the baseline. Off the glass and good. Second bucket for Brady Anderson. And back and forth we go. It's a 1-point advantage for Texas Blue.
Real seesaw affair here in this first half between two talented teams.
Tabashi Thomas spinning into the lane and his shot wouldn't go. McGraw trying to find Smith underneath, but the pass was low. Fast break the other way. Great no-look pass by Ernest Patillo, and the finish was
Ringer
there.
Jr.
Quick shot the other way. Don't see too many quick ones taken by Team Texas Blue. That floater won't go. It was tipped out. And it's going to be a foul charged to Jordan Gaines. That's his second and the 6th team foul. Georgia Shock is able to go undefeated in pool play, winning by 15, then a close game, winning by 1 point. They also had a close call in the semifinals, winning 78-63. They were able to pull away very late. Another close call in the quarters. 71-70, the score there. And as Fink went up, foul whistled, and that's on Gaines again. 3 fouls on Jordan Gaines. 7th team foul against the Shock. Huge rout for the Shock in the first round of the championship bracket play. They won 64-21 as Fink nails the first. We talked about Team Texas Blue. Won all 3 pool play games by at least 15 points.
Second one strong off the back iron.
Texas Blue won by 19 points last night in the semifinal. That pull-up jumper is good for Greg Ringer Jr. He's getting into the mix offensively. He's got 6 points. Pass out front to Cochran. Kick out, left side. Anderson had a 3. Instead, he's going to knife his way inside. Good moves from Brady Anderson, who has 7. Tied up once again.
I don't expect to see either team really go on a large run in this contest.
Hey, you wouldn't think so. Both are so sound on both ends of the floor. Turnover there, however, with 3.5 to play, all tied up. Anderson's going to drive the baseline again. That time it was a little bit short. Got his own board, kicks it out. Here's Fink. What a pass underneath. The extra pass is there, and a quick finish from Andrew Smith. You can just take a lot of film from this Team Texas Blue and just show it to about any up-and-coming team and say, just do this, do this, do this, and you'll be all right.
We joked that it's like watching the Globetrotters, but there's no whistling going on while they're weaving in and out and making their passes. It's an impressive display of unselfishness and understanding that this squad, what they're able to do, and understanding just how much passing means. I mean, you run through your offense, you don't have a shot clock, do what you do best, and just go with it. And to led them all the way to the semifinal game and the 10th grade boys championship bracket.
This is our 3rd game of the day, our first of 3 consecutive national championship semifinal games. We have 1 from each age division before we start our 3 national championship games. Shock just buying their time on the perimeter. Now they'll go underneath. Shot up and under just off the mark from Jordan Gaines. McGraw just back into the game, taking a 3. That one just rattles out. Strong rebound from Gaines. He remains in the game despite having 3 fouls. Interesting call there.
Layup there, rebounded by Team Texas Blue. Fink is a guy, doesn't play a whole lot for him, but he's an excellent passer. That's just another display of that.
Oh, and McGraw missed. Maybe just a bit off balance as he came around the other side of the basket. Tabashi Thomas out of control as he went into the lane, and that's going to be a charge. Josh Fink set his feet and took it, and that's the 2nd on Thomas. 8th team foul against the Shock.
Fink nearly pitched a tent down there. He was in the lane for so long, getting set up.
Tabashi Thomas is going to check out probably for the remainder of this first half with 2 fouls. They can't afford to have him pick up 3.
Especially with just a minute and a half remaining. You're only trailing by 2. Unless they go on a ridiculous run over these next 40 seconds or so. I don't see any reason he returns.
Brady Anderson, pass underneath, found Fink. He was trying to outlet to Cochran, and Cochran started to move towards right. Not sure why that's the position you would want to go. If you've got a man falling out of bounds, you need to move towards him.
I think he thought Fink might turn back around towards the rim, start moving that way.
See how much clock the Shock decide to burn right here, if any. Floater in the lane, too strong off the heel. It's tipped out. And it's stolen away. McGraw's going to have a one-on-one. Spinning all the way in, got the foul, but he'll go to the line. Foul charge to Greg Ringer Jr. That's the 9th. Double bonus situation the rest of this half, all 47 seconds of it for Team Texas Blue. McGraw hits the first. 12 points for him in the first half to lead all scorers. Melvin Daniels is going to check back in, so they have his presence on the defensive end. It's a 4-point advantage for Team Texas Blue. 30 seconds to play in this first half. 3-ball, right wing on the way that misses short.
Push down in the block.
It's going to be against Josh Fink, his first personal, just the 3rd team foul against Texas Blue. It's been a back-and-forth first half. Tie up underneath. Possession arrow will keep it with the Shock.
Running their offense. Kind of slowed down now. Nobody moving. Difficult as a point guard to do anything with it when your offense won't move around.
McGraw couldn't get the layup to go at that end. And on the other side, it's going to be a charge. Melvin Daniels able to set his feet. Ooh, off the heel. Bradley Mason nearly able to get that to go. But a 32-28 halftime advantage for Team Texas Blue. Everything we expected out of this matchup. A lot of excitement, back and forth action. Have the second half coming up for you in less than 5 minutes. Stay with us. This is the Primetime Sports Network. We get set to resume play for the second half. 10th grade boys national championship semifinal. The Georgia Shock trailing Team Texas Blue 32-28. An exciting first half. Team Texas Blue led this game 9-0 to start. 3 3-pointers for the Shock, though, erased that lead. Shock went up by as many as 5 following that, but Team Texas Blue able to close out the first half in solid fashion and able to regain that lead. Tremendous passing team. High basketball IQ for every one of these players on this Team Texas Blue roster. Just 8 of them. Not a very deep bench, but so far they haven't needed it. A foul right out of the gate. It's going to be charged to Dallas Jacks. Jack's starting point guard is a sophomore for the varsity Chapel Hill High School team. Georgia Shock out of Mableton, Georgia. Team Texas Blue, we've seen this from them before, Steve, where they just work the ball around, maybe buying a little bit more time than others. And there's a bad pass, though.
Yeah, an errant pass there. Leads to the turnover. Georgia Shock unable to quickly get down the court, create something off the turnover.
Andrew Smith gets whistled for the personal. That's his first. Melvin Daniels will check into the game. No one in foul trouble for Team Texas Blue. Nobody with more than one. Corner 3 ball that's on the way. Yeah, bottom of the net for Dallas Jacks. Lead trimmed to 1. 3 different players, though, for the Georgia Shock with 2 fouls. One of them with 3 being Jordan Gaines. Gaines is not on the floor right now. Dallas Jacks able to come away with the steal, trying to drive inside, and he traveled.
Anderson, great pass across the way.
Good passing underneath. Just looking for that perfect shot. Could this be it from McGraw? Yes. Michael McGraw for 3. He's got 16 points to lead all scores. He had 2 threes in the first half. 3 of 6 from downtown is McGraw. Driving around on the baseline, the turnaround shot would not fall for Greg Ringer Jr. Here's Josh Fink kicking it out. McGraw's going to have another go from 3. Too strong. They'll push the floor, and McGraw's going to pick up the personal. Not a lot of contact there, but the first personal on Michael McGraw on the second team foul.
It's the right call there against McGraw's. Andrew Smith will check back out. Good rotation going.
Drive inside, and Tabashi Thomas goes glass. First player in double figures for the Shock. First 6 points of this game for the Shock were off Tabashi Thomas 3-pointers. Picked up a couple of personal fouls, though, and had to sit for the remaining 2 minutes of the first half. Fink passes low. They're able to work it outside. McGraw inside. Fink got the up fake. He was able to get Aaron Reddick off his feet, and he'll pick up his first personal. Josh Fink will head to the line.
A good job there by Fink to hesitate on get the pump fake and draw the foul.
First one is good for Josh Fink.
Fink not the best player on this team. but he's a solid player. One of those guys that you want on your team. That's why he's on this squad. Is he can do a number of things. I mean, at one point he's running the point. The next point he's down in the post, getting passes and going up for layups.
You can without a doubt.
He knocked down both of those free throws.
Daniels able to get the steal there as he closed in on the pass. Here's McGraw. He's going to pull up from the baseline. Yes. Smooth as Michael McGraw from the field. 18 for him. Drive the other way is no good. Brady Anderson's going to come away with the board. Team Texas Blue buying their time. They've upped this lead to 6. Spot in the national championship game on the line here for these two 10th grade boys teams. Melvin Daniels working inside, off the glass and the foul. Second foul on Aaron Reddick, third team foul. Melvin Daniels had 6 early points for Team Texas Blue. That's his first bucket here in the second half. Bouncing around there and wouldn't fall in. But an 8-point advantage for Team Texas Blue. This is the largest it's been since they started the game on a 9-0 run. Continuing with the zone defense is Team Texas Blue. It's going to be a foul on Melvin Daniels. That's his second personal and the third team foul. Pass underneath. Thomas was left all alone. 12 points for Tabashi Thomas. Clock issue here. Pass underneath. Smith was able to beat everyone down the floor. Good inbounds pass there, and Smith the beneficiary. It's an 8-point advantage. Just over 5 minutes gone here in the second half. It was a 4-point lead for Team Texas Blue at the half. They've been able to swell it up to 8 here. Here's Thomas. He's the man who can get him back in it with plays like that. Tabashi Thomas driving to the hole. Good balance by him to bank it in off the glass. Tabashi Thomas has 14 points. Brady Anderson driving all the way in. His scoop shot off the glass won't go down. Pushing in transition all the way down. A back pass was to no one, and a 2-on-1 if they hurry, but Fink lost the handle. Now he's in a little bit of pressure, and the foul's going to go against Greg Ringer Jr., and that's his third personal. McGraw driving into the lane. Scoop underneath, couldn't get it to go. Out of bounds, and it'll come back the other way with the shock. It's going to be a foul, a push on Andrew Smith going for the rebound. Fourth team foul, second personal on Andrew Smith. Spin move in the lane, and Thomas had it poked away from behind by McGraw. Down the other way, Smith an easy 2.
Josh Fink with the look off of Smith and is able to deliver it to him. Looked over into the left corner, and Smith was streaking down the right side of the lane.
That 3 ball will go down. It's Dallas Jacks. He had a 3 in the first half as well. It's a 5-point advantage still for Team Texas Blue. Winner to the national championship game. Both teams undefeated to this point. Brady Anderson got into a little bit of a trouble in between 2 defenders, but it's going to be a foul. That's going to go against Dallas Jacks, his second personal and already the 5th team foul against the Georgia Shock. 4 team fouls for Team Texas Blue this half. The Shock ran through pool play with a 15-point win, a 1-point win, and a 7-point win to go 3-0 and take the top seed out of that pool. Won their first round championship bracket game by 33 points. 8-point victory in the quarterfinals, and then no problem in the semis with a 14-point win.
Give and go there. Andrew Smith with the lay-in. Just wide open, streaking down the left side. Squad has shown what they're able to do.
Jack's trapped in the corner for a moment, able to get out of it. Patillo driving in, and he's going to get fouled. Foul goes against Josh Fink, his second personal.
Both teams with 5 fouls, very even so far.
That one just rattles off the rim. Ernest Patillo getting an invitation to Coach Calipari's basketball camp on the University of Kentucky. Recently got back from that. Patillo had a quick start to this game, has been quiet since. 6 points after that made free throw. Brady Anderson trying to drive inside, and it's going to be a blocking foul. Javarian Sherman with the personal, 6th team foul. And Anderson in the act of shooting will head to the line for 2. 7 first half points for Anderson, yet to get on the board here in the second. He's got the first. Melvin Daniels will check back in for Team Texas Blue, taking over for Andrew Smith. Both of those guys who man the low post for Team Texas Blue with 2 personal fouls. So if either should pick up a third, probably see him just kind of switch off the rest of the way as the second goes down for Anderson.
Still got Colin Eccles, who hasn't seen the floor here early, but if need be, he's a solid player down in the post for them.
That 3 ball will go down for Dallas Jacks. 3 3-pointers for him. 9 points on the game. They needed that one. Trim the deficit back down to 5. Just over 7 minutes to play in this national championship semifinal. Something's got to give here between these 2 solid teams. Both have had their chances to go on runs. Both were really at the beginnings of the games. As Fink tries to drive inside, and it's blocked away. 3 ball in transition from Jacks the other way, and it bounces over the goal out of bounds to Team Texas Blue. They won all 3 of their pool play games by 15 plus. Had a close game in the quarterfinals, though, against the Baton Rouge Blazers, a very good team. They were able to polish off that win by 4. Then won by 19 points later in the semis. Anderson didn't put the ball on the floor in time, and a traveling call. Vic Cochran is not happy about it.
Coach Vic Cochran saying he dropped the ball. I thought he did too.
Here's a three from the right wing that's too strong. Soaring rebound from Bradley Mason.
Shock may want to try to work the ball inside a little bit, settling for outside shots. And they're not hitting them right now. Try to get it in there and see what you can do.
That's going to be the second personal on Ernest Patillo. 7th team foul.
3 more and they'll get to go to the line.
Watch for the inbounds play. Oh, Smith missed an easy one, got the offensive board.
He realized he was surrounded, so he quickly turned and kicked it back out.
Fink, reverse layup is good.
Nice pass there by Smith, and good job by Fink to establish position down in the post. He's a strong player. You can just tell. Broad shoulders. Good build.
Pass down low. Easy put in off the glass for 2 by Jordan Gaines. He had 3 fouls and had to spend a good portion of this second half on the bench. But an instant impact as he checked back in. Lead is 5 again, just over 5 minutes to play. Brady Anderson's going to drive in. His reverse layup is too strong. Bradley Mason's going to get the steal. Caught Dallas Jack snapping. Pass down low underneath. Nice pump fake by Josh Fink, and he gets the layup. And a timeout called by Team Texas Blue as they lead by 7.
Not only a good pump fake, but a good use of his dribble, knowing where he was. Pump fake, got the elevation, then he took the hard dribble and laid it up off the glass for the reverse lay-in. The team we saw earlier here on PrimeTime Sports Network, San Antonio Tar Heels, they were trailing by a large margin in the first half. Now they've cut it within 1. That's what we've talked about. You get to this level, these games are going to be a lot closer. There's a lot more talent and team continuity going on amongst these teams. Little to no arguments between the teams. And that's something that you pointed out last night as we were going back to the hotel, Josh, talking about these teams, they're actual teams. They don't bicker between themselves, and that's a big difference.
Yeah, the team chemistry, as you said, we've seen Team Texas Blue play. We've seen the San Antonio Tar Heels play. And we were quick to notice just how on the same page everyone was. Nobody got down no matter what the situation. You just lived for the next play as Jordan Gaines drops in the jumper.
And the same can be said about this Georgia Shock team. I mean, they've yet to hang their heads. They just keep going. It's a process. We got to win this possession. If we don't win it, we got to win the next one.
Brady Anderson had a brief opening for 3, passes it up. Shock know how to work some clocks. Saw them yesterday in the semifinals dribble around between teammates, constantly breaking those 5-second closely guarded calls. They dribbled around for 2 minutes. Here's a takeaway, though. Careless pass. Tabashi Thomas is going to drive all the way in and lay it in with the scoop. Thomas has 16 points. Back to a 1-possession game as we're just over 4 to play. I think both of these two teams want this badly. McGraw, bounce pass underneath. Fink got the up fake again. And got hit hard.
Right across the head. Patillo picks up his 3rd.
That's the 8th team foul against the Shock. And if they find themselves trailing late, putting Team Texas Blue at the line has not been beneficial to any team that Texas Blue has seen thus far. They know how to shoot free throws. Just great awareness, though. Josh Fink going down low. We've seen him do that a few times in this second half. And although he certainly doesn't possess any sort of height advantage, especially against guys down there like Patillo and Jordan Gaines, but cooler heads have prevailed. He just knows how to get those bigger guys in the air, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to be able to draw that foul. First one goes down.
Yeah. you got to commend Texas Blue. Team Texas Blue. Up by 3. Your lead just trimmed basically in half within a blink of an eye. Now you go down, you're up by 3, and they didn't look phased. They didn't look like there was any pressure on them. Just go through their offense, they get to the line, and they knock down both of them.
Jacoby Cochran picking up the personal foul there. 6 team fouls on Team Texas Blue, 8 on the Georgia Shock. Driving inside, nice drive to the lane. Getting his own rebound was Ringer Jr., and the second chance effort was blocked by Daniels. Anderson's going to control. Tight semifinal games, just as to be expected. Game going on the court behind us. Tied at 58 with 3.5 to go. And this game is a 2-possession game with 3.5 to go. And that's the 4th foul on Greg Ringer Jr. 9th team foul. Texas Blue spreading out the floor, and when those double team come, they've just got cross-court passes to make, but a pretty wide open range to put it into.
And we've seen this out of Team Texas Blue before. In that earlier game, start swinging the ball around, waiting for the opening.
They're not looking for a basket right now either by any means. They're just trying to run this clock. And you have 2 options. You have a man, everybody kind of goes to a corner.
It's got to be a wide open layup just like that by Josh Fink.
Easy take for him. But if you were looking overhead, it would look like a dice and the number 5. You've got one guy in each corner and one guy in the middle. And literally a lot of space to pass into wherever the open man comes when the double team comes. Foul's going to go against Andrew Smith. That's his 3rd personal and the 7th team foul. And it will spin Jordan Gaines to the line. Gaines has 6 points. First trip to the free throw line for him. First one good. Second one misses. Smith with the rebound. Quickly outlet pass to Fink, knowing where his surroundings are at all times. Here they are again, just setting up, doing a lot of passing, very little dribbling being forced to take place. Just a lot of overlapping runs.
Not a lot of high floating passes. They're all sharp, solid, as he ran right through the middle of the defense. Could have probably forced something going to the rim, but he understands the process.
The next one will put Team Texas Blue at the line, and it will go against Greg Ringer Jr., and that's 5 on him. He's gone.
Yeah, that's his 5th. And they'll go to the line, shoot 2. It's at 10-7 now.
So here goes Jacoby Cochran. Go to the line, and important free throws here with a chance to make it a 3-possession game. Cochran hits the first, his first points of the game. Cochran gets them both. Those were huge, and the lead is up to 7 for Team Texas Blue.
And you saw there, Georgia Shock thought they had a steal opportunity. Ringer did. Then he got into such a position he thought he could trap him. Wasn't able to do so as Dallas Jack lays it up and in at the other end.
Tabashi Thomas picks up his third personal. It will put Team Texas Blue at the free throw line for 2 whenever we resume play, but a timeout on the floor by the Georgia Shock.
That's a costly mistake by an assistant coach. Not a smart move there by the assistant coach to draw his second technical. He'd already been warned. He got a tee. You get your second one, and your team's only down by 6. That's the thing.
It's a 2-possession game.
6-point lead. You're trailing by 6, and now you've cost your team a point. And now a technical on the head coach. So now they'll go shoot 4 technical shots.
Then the foul shots.
And the Shock players are the ones. And this is sad for these kids just because they've battled, played so hard. And now you've worked this hard as Anderson misses on the first.
Second one goes down for Anderson. Yeah, it's tough to see in this situation, especially when you get to this stage in the tournament. You don't want to see it in like this.
And you can
because
see
these guys still have another game to play. It's going to be the third place game. You're talking about finishing third place at a national championship that had about 80 teams in it.
McGraw knocks down the second, or the first of his free throws attempts, knocks down the second.
And now he'll get 2 more for that second technical.
Yeah.
It's 22 points for Michael McGraw at game high. And now possession back to Team Texas Blue. So they go 5 of 6 at the line on the free throws. Should have only been 2 free throw attempts, and the Shock would have essentially gotten possession back.
And it was a 6-point ball game. Now it's an 11-point ball game. I mean,
without possession.
Yeah. And you could tell the kids were trying to pull the coaches back. And that's the sad part. And now Team Texas is just going to run through their offense. 50 seconds to go. Their head coach isn't here now. They're just left to their administrator having to make the decisions. There's the foul. Players having to take it into their own hands to make the decision, hey, we got a foul now.
So it'll be charged to Patillo. That's his 4th personal.
Mason misses there. As Colin Eccles will check in for the first time, Andrew Smith takes a seat. Team Texas Blue. Missed there as well by Mason.
Long 3 from Dallas Jacks. That was halfway down and popped out. Rebound from Eccles. The putback is up, no good. Another second chance effort won't go, but a foul on the play.
Anderson gets called for the foul. He went up to try to just swat it away. Got a hand on someone else's arm. Appears to be Jordan Gaines' arm. So Gaines will go to the line.
And to update you on the other semifinal, the San Antonio Tar Heels, Steve, in typical fashion for them, they just don't seem like they are even capable of being beat. They have pulled ahead 71-66 with 31 seconds to go. So right now, seemingly it looks like the Team Texas Blue will take on the San Antonio Tar Heels. Second one rims out as well. And for a national championship that attracts teams from all over the country, from Rhode Island to California, you're still going to have 2 Texas teams in this national championship, and that just kind of goes to show you the level of talent that's in this Texas state.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you just think of the Houston area alone is such a fertile recruiting ground for collegiate coaches, and throughout the state. I mean, Cedar Hill, everywhere you hear of these places that college players are coming out of, and it's apparent just in this national championship.
And it seems to go hand in hand, you know, with the old saying with any sport, you know, to be the best, you got to play the best. So, you know, not only in those areas, once you find good players, and once you establish a good ground, a good base of players, then you're playing those good teams, you know, game after game. You've also got good players on your team, so you're practicing against good players, and it just continues to breed better and better and better players. Works like that really with any sport when you think about it. If you don't have good talent to go up against day after day, then you're not going to know what it looks like when you do find it.
Mason knocks down the first. That's an excellent point, Josh.
5 points for Bradley Mason. And the San Antonio Tar Heels pull away here. Barring a miracle, they are going to find themselves in the national championship game. That's going to be a fun one to watch. We'll have it for you right here live on the PrimeTime Sports Network. Clock is going to run out on the Georgia Shock. Team Texas Blue, 66-55. They are headed to the national championship game. Nothing for the Georgia Shock to hang their head about. An incredible run so far in the tournament. Their tournament's not over. They've got a chance to play for third place in the national championships. Your scoring breakdowns, first for the Shock, Tabashi Thomas finishes with 16, 13 for Dallas Jacks, 7 points on the game for Jordan Gaines, 6 each for Greg Ringer Jr. and Ernest Patillo, 4 for Aaron Reddick, 3 for Jaquan Sims. For Texas Blue, Michael McGraw led the way with 22 points, 11 scored by Josh Fink, 10 from Brady Anderson, 8 points each for Melvin Daniels and Andrew Smith, 5 for Bradley Mason, and 2 for Jacoby Cochran. Our next matchup here on the PrimeTime Sports Network will feature the 9th grade boys national championship semifinal. Bears basketball all the way from Chicago, Illinois, taking on the Texas Trailblazers 2017. We'll have that game live for you here in about 8 minutes. Until then, for Steve Braun, I'm Josh Haley. This is the PrimeTime Sports Network.